So the Master of Learning Intervention is a course that equips graduates to be able to cater for diverse students. So intervening at their point of need and making sure that what we're teaching is what they're ready to learn and where they're ready to go next. And as we know, all students are different, and so it's really about using data and using our knowledge of learning to target and pinpoint exactly what every student needs. We have 3 specialties and people can choose to specialise in one of the 3 areas. And those 3 areas are learning difficulties, deafness and disability. The specialisation in learning difficulties is really a focus on students who may have specific learning difficulties in reading, writing and numeracy. And as part of that particular specialisation, students learn about foundational science of reading, numeracy and learning, and then how to apply specialist knowledge to those aspects of evidence-based practice for students who really come along with significant challenges in those areas. In terms of the disability specialisation, people often choose that specialisation to really target students who have complex needs. We have teachers who come from SDSs or special developmental schools or schools for students who have intellectual disability or other disabilities. We also have teachers who come from mainstream classrooms who really want to learn how to cater for students with disabilities who are integrated into the mainstream classroom. So within that specialty, there is a focus on neurodiversity and also around managing behaviour positively and complex behaviours, as well as communication. And then the third specialisation is the deaf education specialisation, and that's for teachers who want to work with students who are deaf and hard of hearing and to qualify as a teacher of the deaf. And within that specialisation, there is information and learning about audition and technology that are used by students who are deaf and hard of hearing, auditory development, and obviously language and all the underpinnings of language and how deafness impacts language development and the sorts of interventions that you want to put in place to make sure that every student's reaching their potential. So it's really about enabling students to specialise in an area of interest or where they're teaching and their context to make sure that it really aligns with what they need. This course is really designed for students who are lifelong learners, who recognise that teaching is a cognitively challenging discipline and profession, and they're coming along really trying to work out how to cater for every student in their classroom.
I chose to study the Master of Learning Intervention at the University of Melbourne because I had been practising learning inclusion teacher at a public primary school for a number of years. I had thought about what I really wanted to delve deeper into, and this Master of Learning Intervention offered a focus on literacy inclusion and intervention, oral language inclusion and intervention, and also mathematics inclusion and intervention. It provided me with an evidence-based framework and safe space into research, and also provided direction whilst given choice that really helped me take my thinking and learning further. My current role is that I'm an inclusion outreach coach. I work at a special school 1 day a week, and I'm providing outreach for mainstream public schools the balance of the week. It gave me, in a way, permission to step into that space of working more towards inclusion in a broader sense. What inspires me to work with students and work as a teacher is that I feel that every student has the right to really reach their potential and fulfill their aspirations. And inclusive education, which learning intervention is a part of, is a crucial stepping stone to be able to connect with a student, a parent or a teacher, and work with them at their point of need, and then sort of see the learning grow and happen. That is literally what makes me happy.
With the Master of Learning Intervention, there's 2 streams that you can apply to be part of the course, and the stream A is the stream where you have placements that are part of the the course where you go out into schools and you are supported by supervising teachers to apply the specialist knowledge that you've been learning about in the course. In Stream A, you do need to be a teacher who has worked within the Australian system for at least 2 years and have experience within all of the different systems within Australia. We do have placement components where there are 2 placements that students undertake over their degree. Students often find these placements to be really worthwhile and an opportunity to be supported to apply the theory into practice. Stream B is for students who may come from an allied health background, may be an international student or a student who's working currently in early childhood. Then Stream B is a research pathway where they can get to really delve into an area of interest. So you can choose to be a face-to-face student, but many of our students who are obviously working full-time really find the online mode is really helpful for them to be able to access and engage with learning. And so because we are online, we do have students who are not only in Victoria but come from other states of Australia, and also obviously an international cohort who can access the teaching by either coming to Australia or in a different way from overseas. So the Master of Learning Intervention is really a unique course in that our focus is theory to practice. So not only do we want students to be able to understand the research and the evidence beneath what we're teaching them, but also what that looks like in the classroom, what that looks like in practice. And so much of our teaching is really about applying that theory to practice. The Graduate Certificate in Education, Learning Difficulties, is a 4-subject course. So for those students who are not sure if they want to undertake a full master's, they can dip their toe in, or they can decide that this is where they can start to learn some really evidence-based research around learning difficulties. If you did start the graduate certificate and decided that, yes, this is something that you really want to delve into more deeply, then those subjects then provide you with recognition of prior learning as part of the Masters of Learning Intervention. Our alumni have moved into different areas of education, and we're starting to see them really have an impact not only in the classroom but more broadly within schools and within regions and also within the department. So we have students who graduate from us who really do have a drive to make a difference for every student. And if that's you, then coming to the Master of Learning Intervention is a really great option.